Hey y'all. Okay, so everybody who's tuning in, thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. And I want you to know I'll be posting shorts, a lot of shorts soon. So make sure you check those out. Um, and also my other social media platforms, most importantly, Facebook. And today I want to talk about something. I'm trying to get the hair here. Today I want to talk about something that is heavy on my heart, and that is the spirit of suicide. Um, y'all, I have shed so many tears lately for friends who have children who have committed suicide, for all these people that are out there that are committing suicide right now. Um, and you have to excuse me because I'm going to get emotional about this, because I was depressed for the past 4 years. So I would say just came out of that at the beginning of this year. Um, I did not even know that for 4 years I was depressed. So, like, it's so emotional and heartbreaking on so many levels. I'm a mama to 5 kids, and three of whom who are grown, and two who are, one who is younger and one who is a teenager. Um, and when I think about the past 4 years, that I was not there for them in the way that I always have been. I've been a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling mom for 20 plus 20, like 23 years. And um, I've always been there for my kids. And they could always count on me, and I was always very active with them and involved in their lives. And for 4 years, um, obviously I was still doing things, still taking them places, but a majority of my day was spent in bed, and it was a battle to get out of bed every day. It was a battle. I had to give myself reasons. I had to justify it. I had to fight with myself to get out of bed. I had was not able to keep my house up the way that I always have. Uh, was not able to cook the way that I always have. I was constantly sad. I was constantly depressed. Now, part of that is due to my marriage. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into that. But we always, all of us have reasons why we find ourselves depressed. I withdrew from friends and family, didn't call anybody back, didn't answer text messages, DMs, all of that. And I felt hopeless. I felt like I couldn't go on. That nothing was going to happen. And I'm a Christian. I am a believer, which is the only reason, I would say my faith is the only reason that I did not end everything. But I do know that multiple times I felt like nobody will really care if I'm gone. It won't matter. Nobody in the world will care. Not even sure my family will care. My husband definitely won't care. It was so dark. It was so dark. And I would have days that would be better than others, and I would have, weeks that would be better than others. But it was such a dark time. And I would say my family and myself moved to a new location, and that is the only thing that broke me out of what I was in, really. Obviously the Lord, and how he orchestrated our move and all of that. But moving itself, I want to tell you, for those of you who maybe do not suffer with depression or have not suffered with depression in the past, you cannot just say to your friend, oh, well, things will get better, or stay encouraged, or you've got this, or that's not enough. And that is really a huge reason why I think so many people do end up committing suicide, because, and their friends will say, well, we were here or whatever, but no, unless you've gone through it yourself, you don't know what that person is going through and how they feel. And when they hear you say, oh, just get over it or it'll be fine, that lets them know, it makes them feel even further isolated, because that lets them know you're not understanding the level of what they're going through, and they don't feel like they can open up and tell you. And I think that's really why so many people commit suicide, because they don't have the support system on the level that they need it, of, even though it may be their partner or it may be their kids or family or good friends, but they're not understanding the level of what you're going through. And so you are, in your mind, you feel alone and isolated even further. So my heart is really breaking for all of the young people that I'm seeing, and older people that I'm seeing, that are committing suicide. That, to quote a recent suicide note of someone, I've been dead inside already for so long. To me, that really struck a chord inside of me and resonated with me. So I can tell you some things that can help. Okay, some of the things that can help. The number one thing that I would say that helps, and don't laugh at me or take me lightly when I say this, I'm being serious, is Jesus. Okay? Now, I know all of you out there may not be believers, but I'm going to tell you that is the only thing I believe in my heart that got me through my depression, was knowing that God loves me, and knowing that I could pray to him and he loved me and he was going to hear me and he was going to heal me. Okay? That was overwhelming. I would say that was number one. If nobody else around me understood, I knew that the God in heaven who created me understood me, knew me, loved me, and could save me and help me through my situation. Okay? Other things. Opening all your windows. I noticed toward the end of my depression that I was always in my bedroom, and my bedroom was always dark. My windows were always closed. Now, part of the reason my windows were always closed was because the way I had set up my bedroom, I had a huge dresser in front of my windows. And so I'm a short person, and I could not literally reach over my dresser to get to my curtains and my blinds and open them. Right? But also on a more practical level, it just really wasn't occurring to me that I needed to restructure my bedroom, or I needed to go that extra mile to make sure I was opening my windows and blinds every day and getting sunlight in, or going outside and just sitting in the sun. There is something restorative about the power of sunlight. There really, really, really is. And let me tell you something that I also believe, that depression is a spirit. It is a spirit. there are, and I'm going to do a whole lot of YouTubes on spirits and different things if you are not knowledgeable about them or don't quite understand them. But depression is a spirit. Um, and there are many ways that different spirits can get into you. But at the end of the day, that spirit has to leave you. It comes upon you and it has to leave you. And that's why I also get back into faith, because Jesus has the power to save. Calling upon his name banishes spirits. But there are other things that you can do as well, like getting natural sunlight, exercise. Exercise is very cleansing. So it can be going to the gym, it can be taking a walk, it can be playing some kickball with your kids, getting on a bicycle and riding around your neighborhood. And also connections. Okay, so a lot of times, a lot of us feel like, let me see if this helps with the sun. Not really. Okay. Not sure what's, there we go. Connections. So you want to try, and I found this. I have a lot of friends on Facebook that are better friends to me in crisis than my friends that are around me. Just because there's something freeing, I think, maybe about talking to someone who doesn't attach things to you, right? So let me give you an example. My family, obviously, has known me my entire life. And when I was younger, I was very wild, very crazy. And when I say younger, I mean like in a whole past life, like 25 years ago. Okay, but how I was then is what they attach to me. So that's how they see me. Even though I've been a stay-at-home mom for 23 years, I've raised my children 23 years. There has not been a day or night that I have not been with my kids, raising my kids. Okay? Homeschooling my kids. I've been married. Okay, I've been with my husband 23 years. We've been married for like 17 years of those 23. Never cheated on my husband. Okay, so all that to say, straight-laced. I'm home every night. Don't go out drinking. Don't party. Nothing. Okay, 23 years. But how my family sees me is how I was 25 years ago. And so it doesn't matter what I've accomplished in the past 23. That's how they see me, right? Like, no credit given. Like, I have people in my family who either have divorced or had broken relationships or single moms, and I'm not trying to bash any group or anything like that. But what I'm saying is I've been solid for 23 years. But they're still looking at me like from all these things that my husband and I have accomplished, still looking at 25 years ago. Okay. So a lot of times we don't have people who see us for who we are. We a lot of times can know people who want to keep us in a comfortable cubicle, and that's who you are, and you can't improve upon that. You can't break that mold. You can't be someone else. And so a lot of times people that are closest to us, we can't talk to them because, or maybe you have friends who see you as this super mom or super woman, super accomplished, maybe business person, or super wonderful, perfect mom, and they see your marriage as perfect or whatever, and there's stuff going on in your marriage or with your kids, and you're unable to share because they see you in a certain light and they don't want to see you a different way. These are all things that can make you feel isolated when you are struggling with depression. I've learned a lot about depression lately. Obviously, while I was depressed, I did not realize I was depressed. And so I was not able to study and learn about depression. But I've learned about a lot of signs, like, of course, isolation, withdrawing from friends, family, um, not being able to get up out of bed, feeling constantly tired all the time, even though you've slept for a long time. Binge eating. I was binge eating. I did not even know that that was part of depression. Binge eating can be a part of a depression symptom. And so I just really want you all to know on here that this is somewhere you can always come and you can always discuss that. And there's nothing that's too dark that you can't leave in the comments and talk about, because let me tell you, one of the most powerful scriptures, in my opinion, in the Bible is, it says, nothing is uncommon to man. And what that scripture means is, whatever you're going through, whatever you're suffering from, whatever your situation is, you are not alone. One of the things that the devil loves doing, one of his number one tactics that he employs, and it always works, is making you feel like whatever it is that you're going through, you're the only person that's going through it. Let me tell you something. Out of the billions of people that are on this earth, there is someone, and many someones, that have gone through what you're going through right now. You are not alone. Don't ever, ever, ever allow yourself to think that what you're experiencing, you are solo in what's going on and what you're experiencing. You are not alone. Okay? And knowing that brings comfort, knowing that someone else is or has gone through what you've gone through. And there are people out there that you can talk to. And the devil likes to keep people isolated. He likes you to feel like you're the only person, and he wants you to keep it all inside, because he knows that keeping things like that inside is too much. It's too much. It's going to overwhelm you at some point, and you are going to end your life, right? So it's so important to connect and talk. So I want you to know in the comments, you can always talk about anything you need to get off of your chest. You need to connect with someone. There is someone else out there that is going through what you're going through. And yes, it is a cliche when people say stay encouraged, and you're just like, if you knew what I was going through and feeling right now, there is no encouragement in me, so don't tell me to stay encouraged. But I am going to tell you that, because I promise you, life is full of seasons. Life is full of seasons, and some seasons can last a long time. So people will say, I've been going through such and such for 5 years, 10 years. It is still a season, okay? And the only thing that is constant in life is change. That is the only thing that is constant in life. So please know it is a season that you are going through. It will not last forever. And you can find encouragement in that fact. It is a fact. It will not last forever. And I'm not saying it's going to end by you taking your life. That is not how your season is going to end. It will end in a different way, but what you cannot allow yourself to do is become isolated. You have to search out for help. You have to connect with other people. And if there's no one in your circle, I'm really going to suggest that you connect with people on social media. And just know that when you do connect with people on social media, there are going to be people out there that say horrible, hurtful things because they're angry or they're sad or they're depressed or they've been hurt by someone and so they want to just lash out and hurt someone else. You cannot take that to heart, okay? Because your people are out there on social media who can encourage you, who can talk to you, who have gone through what you're going through right now. But this spirit has to be fought. It has to be fought. And it has to be stopped because too many people are feeling overwhelmed and isolated and are feeling like there's no other options than to end their life. Um, and it's killing me inside. It's killing me inside when I think about so many other people going through what I went through for so many years. And nobody cared, nobody around me cared. I'm just going to be honest. Nobody around me cared. Um, and that's hurtful, that's really hurtful. Um, but you have to be, and I've learned this, it took me 20 something years to learn this. You have to learn how to be your own cheerleader. You really do in life. If you meet people who decide to get on your team and cheer for you, that is fabulous. That is wonderful. That is a bonus. But you have to learn, you really do have to learn how to be your own cheerleader. And people talk about self love, and I've always seen that as, oh, that's so selfish or whatever, self care and self love. And yes, it can become selfish. There are a lot of people out there that are just all into themselves and themselves only. But there is some legitimacy to self love and self care. You have to learn how to love yourself and forgive yourself. You have to learn how to tell yourself that you forgive yourself for mistakes that you've made. You are not perfect. You are going to make mistakes in this life. And mistakes are made so that you can learn and you can become a better person and you cannot make those mistakes in the future. So you have to give yourself some grace and you have to give yourself forgiveness for mistakes that you've made, okay? And then you have to take time to be able to get to know yourself and begin to love yourself and do things for yourself. Know that you are worthy to have nice things done for yourself. Some of the simple self-care things that I do, even though sometimes it's hard for me to leave the house and get out, just mentally to gear myself up to leave the house and go out. But once I do, I have the best time. And I talk to people that I don't know. That's like my gifting. I love talking to people that I don't know and listening to them and sometimes just giving them a hug. There's so many people out there who just need a hug or just need someone to listen to them. I love doing that. And some of the simple self-care things that I do is I get my eyebrows done, get my nails done, get a pedicure. I wear wigs. I love wigs. I wear wigs every day. And my hair is braided in a protective style underneath. And so I love going to the wig store and getting wigs and talking to people about wigs. And, those are just a few of the simple things I do. Or in the morning, going to treat myself to a coffee or a sandwich from Starbucks. It's just those little things, kind things that you do for yourself. You have to learn how to be kind to yourself. I think especially us mamas, we're so involved in our children and their day to day and their well-being and their activities and everything else that we consider ourselves not to be people anymore. It is important to know you are a person, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of time, you are worthy of attention. And you have to tell yourself that. I always thought self-affirmations were stupid and weird, but and some of them are. But seriously, it really is. It's important, y'all. It is important to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself I'm a wonderful person. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of respect. I am worthy of attention. And talk to yourself that way because, and I saw this on TikTok from someone who is a very successful business person and life coach. And he was saying, and I thought this is so basic, but it's so revolutionary at the same time because I had never thought of it. He said, your brain is a supercomputer, right? Your brain is a computer. And you, the tongue, Bible talks about the power of the tongue. You program what goes into that supercomputer. So if you tell yourself, I'm stupid or I'm ugly or nobody cares about me, that's what goes into the computer and that's what is processed and that's what you believe. But if you tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of respect, I am worthy of life, that is what gets fed into that computer. And it's amazing how good it feels. Just me saying that right now, it feels good inside. It's important to tell yourself those things. I'm just going to end with this. This was an experiment apparently that millions of people have actually done that I just learned about because I knew about the one with plants, but this is one with rice. So have y'all heard about the rice experiment? This is crazy. Like, this blew my mind. Like, I understood with the plants because I'm like, plants are living things, right? But rice is not alive. So this like blew my mind. So I'm trying to, duh. Let me shut the sun off. Hello, there we go. Okay, so this blew my mind with the rice. So you take 3 cups of rice, right? You can look it up. So I don't know the exact amounts, but it's like you take 3 different cups, 3 little cups, and you put like 1 cup of rice in each cup, right? So even amounts of rice in each cup, even amounts of water. It's like 1 cup of water in each cup, right? And you leave them on, like a shelf or like on your kitchen counter or something like that. And to the first cup, you say nothing but positive things. This sounds crazy, right? Because it's rice. Rice is not living. But hear me out. You say nothing but positive things to the first cup of rice. Okay? Then you have a space between the first cup and the second cup. Then you go over to the second cup and you say nothing but horrible things like, I hate you, you're ugly, that kind of thing, right? And then the third cup, which is spaced out from the second cup, you don't do anything to it at all. You just let it be. So the first cup, you're speaking into the cup and saying positive, wonderful things. Second cup, you're speaking into the cup and saying hurtful, negative things. And the third cup, you don't say anything to it all. And I don't know how you have to look it up because I don't know how long you leave them. But I think you leave the cups for like 2 weeks. You do it for like 2 weeks. Do you know, and this experiment has been replicated many, 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 many times. Do you know, this is the craziest part, that after the 2 weeks or however long you're supposed to do this to the 3 cups, well, the third cup you're not doing anything to. The first cup that you said positive, loving things to, the rice it's a little brown, because it's been sitting fermenting. But basically it looks very much the same as when you first put it in the cup. The second cup, same amount of time, same conditions that you said negative, hurtful things to, the rice turns black. Is that crazy or what? That is, I don't know how it works. All you're doing is saying negative things to it. The first cup you're saying positive things to. Rice is not alive, but it just proves, like, I am a Christian. I don't believe in like positive energy and negative energy and all that per se, but there is some, can't be denied, there is some energy behind your words that is obviously transferred to the rice in the cup. Um, it just proves how damaging hurtful words are. So don't do, if that's what it does to rice, and the same thing with plants. They do the same thing with plants. 3 plants. Say positive things to one, negative things to the other, nothing to the third. And the one that you say negative things to, the plant that you say, dies. So, y'all, we often do not understand the power of the tongue, the power of words that they have on our emotional and mental well-being. So those are things you want to be. I came from a household. My mother was a wonderful mother, very loving, very kind, gave me every opportunity possible, she and my father. But one thing my mom did, and I don't know, I'm assuming this is, I don't know where she got this from. And I think her attempt was for me to be better and to do the opposite, right? That was her mindset. But, she would say negative things. And the desire, of course, was by saying negative things, you're going to have, like if you say something like, I don't know, I'm going to make up something like, you're so lazy, you never clean your room, then that will shame you into cleaning your room, right? I'm just giving like an example, a random example of something. But the reality is when you're negative and you speak in negative terms, then you're really just reinforcing negativity at the end of the day. You're just reinforcing negativity. And so that's what happens when we have negative self-talk. It reinforces negative thoughts. It's not going to produce negativity, is not going to produce positivity. Does that make sense? It's not like math where you have 2 negatives and it makes positive. It just produces negativity. And so we have to be very careful with the way we speak to ourselves, our self-talk. We have to be very careful the way we speak to our children. And we have to be aware of that because that stays with them. It gets in their psyche, right? It gets in your psyche and you carry that around with you. And a lot of kids, I'm sorry that I'm leaning you guys, sorry. A lot of kids have horrible childhoods. We don't like to talk about it in America. We like to pretend that all children are loved and everybody lives in a big house and everybody has a happy family and a great mom, but really the opposite is true. Kids are messed up and their houses are messed up and they come from broken homes nowadays. And that's a whole, oh boy, that's a whole other thing because y'all may not know, I have been a daycare provider, an in-home daycare provider on and off for 20 years. And I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And, I've known all the moms who have the whole facade and charade going, of I'm a great mom and I live in a great house and my family is perfect and all that. And I've seen it all, child. So that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to go into that, but it is really important what we give our kids, because they grow up into adults and a lot of hurt and pain and negative self-talk that we are saddled with as adults can come from our childhood, whether we think about it or not. A lot of it can. A lot of it can. Our feelings of self worth and how we see ourselves and all of that, a lot of that comes from childhood. I am a huge proponent in the thought of course, having done childcare for so many years and gone to college and studied early childhood development and taught and all of that. I'm a huge proponent of the belief that who you are as an adult is the direct result of who you were as a child and your childhood experiences. And that's not to say that if you have bad childhood experiences, those cannot be overcome. But yes, there is lasting damage to your psyche, to your mind. People are walking around with trauma. People are walking around with all kinds of things that have not been addressed or dealt with. And even if you're one of those people who's like, I'm going to power on and power through whatever childhood trauma, drama, PTSD, and all that I had, that's not who I am today. I've gone to school and I've gotten my master's and I've, taken over the world with my small business or, my important business title or whatever. You are still damaged. Okay, you still have to deal with and confront that damage because, yes, even though you've quote unquote overcome it, as far as you are a productive, functioning member of society, there is still damage in here. There's still damage in here, and it's going to manifest itself in all kinds of ways, okay? All kinds of ways. Um, you know, um, and then that's the truth. Those are just facts. It doesn't mean, child, I feel like I just saw something move or fly in my car. We about to wrap this up right now because I'm telling you, I saw something move or fly around in my car. And now I feel like I need to run out of my car. Okay? But I just, I don't want this to go on forever, but I just want to encourage you. I love you. I'm here for you. I hope this helps someone, encourage someone. Feel free always to leave in comments anything that you're going through, whether it's domestic abuse, whether it's depression, thoughts of suicide, or encouraging thoughts of love, whatever it is. Always feel free to comment. Although, if it's negative, I will tell you, I will always block any negative comments. I will block you completely. I do not allow that. I don't allow teasing or bullying or racism or any kind of, or I should say, racist comments, or any kind of thing like that on my page, or negativity. My page is my channel is not about that. So, even though, and I will say, because somebody's going to call me on this later, I will discuss racism, okay, on my channel. But as far as somebody coming on and calling people names or saying something, all of you should go back to Africa or something crazy like that, or whatever, I don't allow any of that on my comments. So I want you all to have a beautiful and a blessed day, and know that you are loved. This is a season and you can get through it. I am here today, so I am proof that you can get through it. I'm going to do another, I'll do another YouTube, maybe later on today. I am watching children over the Mother's Day holiday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am watching children multi-night sleep over at my house, so I'm feeling a little discombobulated because I don't really have like my peace and my quiet and my time to work on my social media. So I don't know. That's all to say. I don't know how soon I'll be able to get it done, but I will be doing. Um, I will be talking about. I did have a suicide attempt once, and it was miraculous what occurred. Um, Definitely, and it was before I was saved, but it was definitely God's intervention of why I'm here today, and I will be talking about that in my next little segment. So stay tuned for that, okay? And have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.